Hello student, good morning to all of you. Today in this module we have to know about the fundamental rights, and the first fundamental rights, that is right to equality. As you all know, according to 2020-21 syllabus of CBSE, the second chapter, that is the rights, that is included in the chapter 1 number 1, that is the constitutional and why and how. So, this is only the part of the chapter 1. So, according to the syllabus in chapter 1, that is constitutional how and why and how, in that chapter also the 3 topic added from the chapter 2, and the rest of the topic of chapter 2, that is totally deleted or removed. So, among that the topic fundamental right, right to equality, and as well as the fundamental right, fundamental duties, and the directive principle of state policy. You know, these 3 topic that was included in chapter 1, that is the constitution, why and how. So, as you all have a old editions book of NCERT political science, so in that you get these 3 topic in chapter number 2. So, you please go through with that chapter 2. So, from there you get an idea about these 3 topic and as well as along with my videos. So, let us start with the topic fundamental rights. Here we have to know about its definitions, some introductions about the fundamental rights, how many fundamental rights we have in our Indian constitutions, and the first one, that is right to equality. From your previous classes also you all get an idea about this, that is the fundamental rights and its different kinds of fundamental rights, that is the 6 fundamental rights. In this here, so let us start with our topic. First we have to know about the introduction, then we have to know about the different kinds of fundamental rights, and in this module I have explained here about the first fundamental rights, that is the right to equality. As you all of you already get an idea about this kind of things, that is a fundamental right from your previous classes. I hope you all get an idea about the class from class 8 and 9, that what is fundamental right and how many fundamental rights we have in our country. What is the difference of the syllabus, or why you are why you are learned in this class, that in class 11 also, because here only one differences you get, that in your previous classes you are not learned about the articles, and here you have to know about the rights along with its article. Now you all get an idea from my previous videos that what is articles and schedules. It's a part, it's a chapter, as well as a serial number of the laws and regulation which we are known as articles and schedules. So let's start with our topic. Here you get each and every right along with the articles. Please remember these articles because it is very much important as a student of the political science that you have to be remember about the articles along with its laws. So let's start with that. First we have to know that the definitions of the that is that is the fundamental right. So fundamental right is nothing but it's one kind of basic rights which every individual get from the constitutions to identify its identity, to get its own identity, and to develop its all round development, whether it's their intellectual development, it's their moral development, it's their spiritual development, anything. So all round development of an individual can be happened only if they get the fundamental rights, that is which is their basic identity to be a citizen of any particular country. So you can say that the fundamental right is the basic rights which are essential for the overall holistic development, that is the intellectual, moral and spirituality. Now there is a 2 rights. One maybe the question will be arise in your mind that then what's about the others right, okay. You know, the others, we also have, not only we all have the fundamental rights in our society, we also have the different kinds of rights which is known as the legal right or ordinary right. So let's see some differences between what is fundamental rights and how we create differentiated between the ordinary and the fundamental. Let's see of that. Okay, now the ordinary law, it is protected by the ordinary law. You know, the legal rights or the other kind of rights which is not fundamental rights of a citizen, that can be not protected by the constitution, as because it is only protected by the legislatures, organized executives or the police, or by this way. So ordinary law rights are protected by the ordinary laws, but whereas the fundamental rights are protected by the constitution. So as it is given by the constitution, as it is taken care by the constitution, that every individual get its identity, fundamental identity, so that it will be developed itself. So it is protected, it is you can say it is amended by the constitution. But ordinary laws are normal laws which can be enjoyed by everyone, whether it's a legislative, it's executive, it's a citizen, it's a judiciary, anyone can be enjoy. So for that reason only ordinary law can protect the ordinary rights. Next one is that it may be changed by the legislature. As it is the only ordinary and the constitution are not given this kind of rights to the citizens for developing themselves, so it is only be amended or it is only be modified or changed by the legislature, means those who are making laws. But it is not happen in that area of the fundamental rights. In the fundamental rights only the right have been given to the constitution, or you can say the Supreme Court, I mean to say the judiciary system only, or the constituent assembly only, for changing or for amending this kind of law. So not everyone, not a particular minister, not a particular department can change the fundamental right, but only the ordinary laws, or you can say only the ministers can change the ordinary rights, but the constitution assembly only have the right to change the constitutional amendment through the constitutional amendment to the fundamental rights. And the last one is that it is legally taken care by the organ of the government. If with the ordinary rights, if something will be happened, it is somehow it will be violated by any person, or it will be taken away by any person, then the constitution cannot do anything, or it is not taking any kind of interference. Only the organs of the government, that is, you all know we have three organs: legislative, executive and the judiciary, that only are the part who are take care of this ordinary laws, and they can be punished, they can be changed, they can be amended. So whatever the things needed along with the ordinary rights, that is only done by the organ of government. But it is not happen in the fundamental rights. Any fundamental rights can be directly approached to the Supreme Court or the High Court, as because the Supreme Court or the High Court is related with the judiciary system. So only the judiciary can have the right to protect the fundamental right through the constitutional amendment. So I hope you get an idea about the difference between the ordinary law rights, which we are getting easily, and the fundamental rights which only a citizens can get according to its countries. Okay, now let's go towards our next topic. We have to know a little bit about the important things about the fundamental rights. So let's see what we have. See, the fundamental rights that was included in the first draft constitution, second draft constitution and the final third draft constitutions prepared by the drafting committee. So you all know that in our previous video it is already explained by me that our constitutional laws that was came or that was prepared by the drafting committee members, as drafting committee is a committee who are take care about the preparing of the constitution laws. So for many of the times the drafting committee come into a meeting and they are drafted the constitution, like first drafting constitution, second, third, fourth, like that. And after that finally we get our constitution, each and everything. So in the first, second and third, after these three drafting three drafted constitution, then we get our fundamental rights. So we can say our fundamental rights are discussed through the first, second and third phases, and on the third final draft constitution phase we get our fundamental rights. Next one is that from where the fundamental rights that was come into the mind of our drafting committee members, that is, you all know that the development of such constitutional, they are granted the fundamental human rights in India, and that was somehow our drafting committee members are impressed, or they are influenced with some historical events. From there we get an idea about the fundamental rights. So you can say the some of the examples are given, that the England Bill of Rights, that is, you can say the England Bill of Rights, the United States of the United States of Bills of the Rights, and the Finance Declaration of Right to Man. So these are the areas from where we can an idea about the that is the how we have to create a bill, which is very much important for giving the identity of the peoples or the citizens of any particular country. And this Indian Constitution, they are granted this right which known as the fundamental rights under the part of 3, that is on the scheduled of 3, on the part of 3, that is the chapter of 3, we have our Indian Constitution's fundamental rights, the 6 fundamental rights. But you know, the previously it was we don't have a 6 fundamental rights, we have 7 fundamental rights, but now we have 6 fundamental rights. So the right to property, which was in our fundamental right, that was abolished and that was removed from the fundamental right. But yes, of course, it is not removed from the laws or from the rights. It was just changes its place from the fundamental rights. It was removed from the fundamental rights and it was added in the directive principle of state policy, which will we know later when I make a video upon the directive principle of state policy. So let's start with our fundamental rights. Here what we have to know, the 6 fundamental rights, what are that, along with the articles of course, and then we will go towards the first one, that is the right to equality. So let's see. Okay, now we have to know the 6 fundamental rights which is right now at present Indian Constitution have. So see, and I know you all have an idea about this, as because you all learned from your class 8 and 9 syllabus about that. But yes, of course, you have to know one little new things, that what is that new little things, that is your the rights. See, if you say that the first one is the right to equality, please keep this right fundamental rights in a sequence wise, so that it is very much important to keep in mind and to write down in examination as a sequence wise. So from article 14 to 18 we get the fundamental rights that we get. Then come to the right to freedom, that is we get here article 19 to 22. Then right against exploitation, that is article 23, 24. Then you get right to freedom of religion from say 25 to 28 you get. Then right to cultural and educational right, here you get 29 and 30, and finally right to constitutional remedies, here you get 31. See, if you see one thing here, you can get an idea that from 30 and 32 there is a missing part of 31, and in this 31 we have right to property, okay, and that is shifted to the directive principle of state policy. This is our somehow right we have to know. So let's start with our first right. Right to equality, okay. So right to equality, here we have to know about right to equality, about the article from 14 to 18. Please be remember that in our first fundamental right, that is right to equality, here you get from article 14 to 18, that is from 14, 15, 16, 17 and 18. This we have get over here, okay. So let's see that what are we get here, that is the first one, article 14. In article 14 we get that is it is said that the state shall not deny to any person on equal treatment. It has 3 dimensions. Under article 14 you get 3 dimensional, where it is talk about the equality before the law, okay. So in that part all are equal, all are getting equal treatment, no one is discriminated. So article 14 is talking about the equality, the equal treatment. So it has 3 dimension. What are the 3 dimensions? The first one is equality before the eye of law. Everyone is equal in the eye of the law, whether they are rich or they are poor, they are any celebrities, they are any normal people. If they are doing the crime in a same situation, in a same basis, in a same criteria, then their punishment should be also the same. And if a person will even giving an example, that suppose a person who is somehow killed a person, and the murderer who belongs to some rich people, and a poor people also do the same thing, then both the criteria are same, so the punishment also the same. But yes, of course, if the poor, they are kill the murder, they are kill the person for keeping you know that to save himself from anyone, to defend himself. So for that, in that reason, both the situations are not same. So in that timing, maybe the judiciary, they are taking that person, those who are kill any other person as their own defense, and the person, those who are only do the murder for their own personal issues. So both are the situation are the different. In that timing, the equality before the eye of law is not at all applicable. But if both are doing the same thing in a same situation, in a same reason, then that will be equal. That in that timing, no one will be seeing the status of that person, or you can say the background of that person. In that timing, everyone is equal before the eye of law. Rule of law. See, in already you have get an idea about the rule of law, that is one law for all. Whether that is the that is the person who is belonging to the upper class or lower class, or to the celebrities, or to any related to any ministers or any powerful person, or the person, those who are living in a normal society, the normal peoples of the society. So the rule which is which is made in our constitution, that is totally equal for everyone. That's why we have law for all, or everyone have one particular law, that is rule of law. Next one is that equal protection of the law. See, if someone is taken away your law, so the judiciary system or the constitution are always give a protection. They are not anytime they are not denying you that as you are a normal person of a society, so we are not protected you, or as you are a very much high power of high authority, so we have to protect you. That's not at all. As the laws are given by the constitution for each and every person of our Indian citizens, then it's the duty of a government to give you equal protection of the laws, whether you are a normal people of the citizens of the country, or you are powerful people of our society. So Article 14, that is talking about equality before the law, or equal law of equal protection of law and rule of law. So it is all talk about the equality. Now come to Article 15. Now what is Article 15? Article 15, here it is said that there should be no discrimination among the individuals on the basis of their caste, on the basis of their color, on the basis of their religion, place, gender, etc. So no a person of our Indian citizens or any citizens of our country, they are not discriminated. No one can have the right to discriminate any other person on the basis of their caste, on the basis of their color, religion, gender, etc. So if they are doing this kind of discrimination, then that is totally, they are violating the laws of the countries, and they are in the eye of the law, they are a punishable offense they are doing. So that is not allowed. Even not only that, we all have a equal access of all the public facilities. If if you recall the syllabus of the story of Nelson Mandela, so from there you can understand that in class 9 you have a South African story, where you have you already learned that how the white peoples are tortured the black peoples, and they are segregated the public facilities like toilet, buses, train, schools, all are separated for the blacks and the whites. So these things are not somehow are repeated in our country, and that's why we have a equal access to all the public facilities. Okay. And maybe you can ask that if this so happened, then why the reservations are given to on the basis of the caste? That maybe one question will be arise in your mind, but let me tell you about the answer, that some special provisions also making for the SC, ST, OBC. Now why they are protected on the basis of their caste? Because we all know that some caste peoples, they are somehow backward for in our society. So to giving the equal chance for come forward, that's why this kind of reservations are given to on the basis of their caste to the SC, ST, OBC. Now let's see that article number 16. Article 16 are talking about the equality of opportunity in the public employment. In any governmental job or in any public job, no one have the right to discriminate any person on the basis of their gender, that is male and female. If both have the similar or both have the eligible conditions, or both have the eligibility to or both whether there is a male and female, both have fulfilled the condition what the company needs or what the employer needs. So if the person are fulfilled that all the criteria, then on the basis of their gender, no one can discriminate anyone. At least one opportunity should be given, whether it's a male or female, if they are fulfilled their condition of the jobs or the condition of the criteria. Next one is a ban on untouchability. You all know that this kind of practices are very much issue in our country also. In the previous years, or you can say in our ancient years, untouchability, this word, this is very much issue where it created the gapping, or it increases the gapping between the lower caste and upper caste people. So they are doing this kind of things as because the upper class peoples are not giving any kind of rights to the lower class peoples, and for that reason, on the basis of these practices of untouchability, they are somehow ignored one particular sets of person from their society, and they are doing the domination. So for stopping this kind of things, because our first fundamental right is right to equality, where we have to give equal access. So the ban on untouchabilities are totally given, somehow constitutionally are provided, so that no one people have they determined or they create discrimination on the basis of the practice of untouchability. So untouchability practices are totally abolished or totally banned under Article 17 of our Indian Constitution. And the last one is that abolition of using title in forms of name, in front of name. Now maybe you can ask that title means about your name. Okay, no, title is not about your name. What you are adding with your name, that is your surname. Okay, like Banerjee, Mukherjee, Das, like this kind of thing. So this is your surname. So we are not talking about the surname. We are talking about the titles. Titles means the award which is getting by the someone, or some kind of that the degrees what we achieved, maybe sometime we are using in front of our name. So that is totally are not allowed by the government, by the constitution, as because if you are using this kind of award in front of your name, then you can showing the world that how much you are powerful, or how much you are have this kind of different awards. So you are discriminating, you are hurting someone else. So except the defense, that is they are using general, colonel, major. So that is the designation they are using in front of their name. Except the academic, that the PhDs holders, that is they are using the doctorate degrees in their front of the name, and the doctors itself. So except these three areas, the others field are not allowed to using any kind of awards, any kind of designation in front of their name, which is totally aborted, and for using this kind of title in front of the names. So I hope you all understand about the fundamental rights, its definitions, that it's 6 fundamental rights, what are that, and of course the first fundamental rights, that is right to equality, along with its articles. So please remember that right to equality it's covered from 14 to 18 articles, that is the 5 articles we have in Right to Equality from 14 to 18. I hope you all clear about this, get an idea about this from this video about the fundamental rights, and please go through clearly and thoroughly with this video along with your NCERT book, so that you will get a clear idea. And though in your NCERT book maybe the articles will not be given, but yes, please of course go through with the articles, because as a person, which I already said, as a political science student, you need to know about the fundamental rights along with its articles, so that it will be helpful for your higher studies. Till that, thank you so much for watching this video.